Skinny Hardaway, Southern T, back with another EP. Y'all do your boy a favor, y'all smash that like button for your boy when you roll on in. Whether you're here for a good time or a long time, I greatly appreciate you sliding through. If this your first time, do your boy solid. Don't make it your last time. We talk these good boxing, sports, parlays, and predictions every single day, not just today. Today we're here with the NBA Daily Rundown. We got 11 games today in the NBA. We're going to go through all of them. I'm gonna pick all the games for y'all. We go running down that way. I don't want to waste too much of y'all time, so we go get going. I'm also I also dropped my college football predictions for the week, so y'all go check that out on the video page. Y'all check that video out, and I'll be dropping my Rangers and Diamondbacks video right after this EP right here ends. Right, so y'all do your boy solid, man. Hit that thumbs up, and let's go and get going. The first game that we got, the first game that we got today is the Nets versus the Charlotte Hornets. First game we got is Nets versus Charlotte Hornets. The Nets are 0-2. The Charlotte Hornets are 1-1. The Charlotte Hornets will be at home for this game. The Nets lost to the Dallas Mavericks 25-20, and they lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers 114 to 113. So two pretty tight games by the Nets. The Charlotte Hornets beat the lost to the Detroit Pistons 111 to 99, and they beat the Atlanta Hawks 116 to 110. Right. So if we're going top to bottom, roster for roster, I guess you could say these teams are about tit for tat. But I know that the Brooklyn Nets are on 2, Charlotte's 1-1 in this particular game, because the Brooklyn Nets have played, the Dallas Mavericks and Cleveland hard. I think the Dallas Mavericks and Cleveland are, better teams than Detroit for sure, right? And I think they're better teams than Atlanta as well, or about even tit for tat. So they got 2 losses against 2, pretty tough teams, right? Defensively sound teams. Charlotte doesn't play a whole lot of defense, and I think the Brooklyn Nets will be able to find a way to score. I think the Brooklyn Nets will be able to find a way to score on Charlotte today. I got the Brooklyn Nets money line over Charlotte. And so we got Brooklyn Nets money line over Charlotte. It's in game 1. I'm gonna drop this in the chat. What's good, Diaz? Shout out to my guy Diaz. Diaz, hit that like button for your boy. Right. So game 1, we got Nets over Charlotte money line in that first game. In the second game, we got the Bulls versus the Pacers. Let me get these records for y'all. The Bulls are 1-2, and the Pacers are 2-0. Right, the Pacers will be at home for this affair. The Bulls have losses to Detroit and losses to Toronto. They lost to Detroit 118 to 102, and they lost to Toronto they beat Toronto 104 to 103. The Bulls. And the Bulls also lost to the Oklahoma City Thunder 124 to 104. So the Bulls are 1-2. They're on the road facing off against the Pacers at 2-0. The Pacers 2-0. They beat Cleveland 25 to 113. Cleveland's a pretty good team. And they blew the doors off Washington 143 to 120. The Pacers are a team who I had my eye on for a second, been pretty high on them. I think this team is going to be a good team in this matchup. I got the Pacers at home over the Chicago Bulls. I do think it's going to be a tight defensively, game, but I do believe in that Indiana Pacers offense a little more than I do the Bulls offense. I believe in the Pacers offense a lot more than I believe in the Bulls offense, right? So I got Pacers in this game, money line over the Chicago Bulls. So let's put it in here. So we got Pacers, money line over the Chicago Bulls. Right. That's the second game. So we got 2 games down. We're going to keep it moving, right? So we got Pacers money line over Chicago Bulls. In the next game, we got the Boston Celtics versus the Washington Wizards. The Boston Celtics 2-0. Washington Wizards are 1-1. The Washington Wizards will be at home for this game. Boston Celtics have win over Miami and New York. Solid wins. Washington has a win over Memphis, and they only won that game by 7 points. Memphis is without Ja Morant. Memphis is without Steven Adams. So that team is a shell of themselves. And Washington only won that game by 7 points. And Washington lost to Indiana by 23 points, right? This Boston Celtics team is full strength, right? I got Boston Celtics by murder. They game probably ain't gonna be close. You know what I mean? Boston Celtics money line over the Washington Wizards. Feel confident about it. Feel confident about it, right? Boston money line over Washington. Feel confident about it. They gonna blow the doors out Washington. They gonna blow the doors out Washington. You know what I mean? Washington probably gonna be one of the worst teams in the NBA this year, but I digress. But yeah, that should be an even right there. Boston over Washington. We drop that as well. Right, I digress. So we got the fourth game. We got T-Wolves versus the Atlanta Hawks. T-Wolves versus the Atlanta Hawks. You want to talk about two teams that I just don't. You want to talk about? I'm gonna bring my camera up too. You want to talk about two teams that I just don't believe in? How about Minnesota Timberwolves and Atlanta Hawks? You want to talk about two teams I don't believe in? How about the Atlanta Hawks and the Minnesota Timberwolves? We got the Atlanta Hawks 1-2, the Minnesota Timberwolves 1-1. The Atlanta Hawks will be at home in this game. The Timberwolves lost to Miami 106-90. And I mean, they beat Miami. The Timberwolves beat Miami 106-190, and they lost to Toronto 97-94. The Atlanta Hawks beat the Milwaukee Bucks 127-110, and they lost to the New York Knicks 126-120. The Atlanta Hawks are at home. They're 1-2. The Minnesota T-Wolves are 1-1. This game is a bit of a toss-up for me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna go with the Hawks in this game because the Hawks are at home, and the Hawks seem to be able to score just a little better than the Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves have a talented team, but they can't quite seem to get it all together. In this game, I'm more confident, with the Atlanta Hawks at home than the Timberwolves. So in this game, I got Atlanta Hawks a little more confident in their offensive score buckets. Money line over the T-Wolves. I got Atlanta Hawks money line over the T-Wolves. Dropped it in the chat. Yo, I got 10 people in the building. I got 8 likes. Y'all help get your boy right. Y'all hit that thumbs up. We just predicted the fourth game. We 4 games in. You can check the chat, for the winners. In the first game, we got Nets over Charlotte. Second game, we got Pacers over Bulls. Third game, we got Boston over Washington. The fourth game, we got the Atlanta Hawks over the T-Wolves, right? We gonna keep it moving. Right along. What's in this game on my docket because I wrote this down. We got the Raptors versus the Trailblazers. We got the Raptors 1-2 and the Trailblazers 0-3. Y'all remember what I said about Washington probably being the worst team in the league? I take that back. The Timberwolves gonna be the worst team in the league. The Trailblazers gonna be the worst team in the league this year, honestly, right? The Warriors are doing. Washington doing the rebuild, right? But Portland, more than likely, is going to be the worst team in the league. Washington go win some games with Kuzma and Jordan Poole, right? Been a little harsh on them, but this Portland team, terrible. I got this Toronto team over there. Portland team. Portland is 0-3. Toronto is 1-2. Portland is 0-3. They lost to Philly, Orlando, and the Clippers. Toronto is 1-2. They lost to Philly, Chicago, and they beat a lackluster Minnesota team. So the one way that Toronto's have is over that Minnesota team, in which I picked Minnesota to beat them, right, and they beat them. But in this game, Toronto should be able to beat this Portland team. That's a bad Portland team, right? So in that game, we got Toronto money line. We got Toronto money line over the Portland Trailblazers. So we got T.O. money line over Portland. Right? So we got T.O. money line over Portland. Let me drop that thing in the chat, put it on the screen. We gonna keep going, make it do what it do. We're about halfway through. Now we on game 5. We got 11 games to go. We go keep it rocking. Right? In the next game, we got Thunder versus the Pistons. Now, on paper, I do like this game, right? If you hear you like Thunder versus Pistons, what kind of game is there? But actually, I think both these teams are a little different this year. Both these teams are better than they were last year, right? So this ain't your normal. You know what I mean? This ain't gonna be your normal, Thunders versus Pistons game. Shout out my guy Dope Boy. What you say? Shout out my guy Dope Boy. Appreciate you sliding through. But Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. So we got Pistons versus OKC. Pistons 2-1. Thunder 2-1. Both these teams been on the money. Gone. Gone. Both these teams been on the money. We got Pistons with a win over Chicago, 118 and 102, and the win over the Hornets, 111 and 199. And they got their only loss so far. They got their only loss so far this year is to the Miami Heat. Oklahoma City Thunder, they just lost to the Denver Nuggets, 128 to 195. Ain't no shame in that. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers, which is a good team. They also beat the Chicago Bulls. Team that has good players, trying to find that motion right now. OKC and Detroit, I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna be a good game, but I'm leaning Oklahoma City Thunder because they are at home. I think offensively they are a little better. Defensively, Detroit is nasty, right? I don't think Holmgren is going to, dominate out here, but I do think the combination with Shea Gilgeous, Jalen Williams, move. I do think the combination with Shea Gilgeous and Jalen Williams, they're going to be able to, pull this game out. Shea Gilgeous is playing out his mind, right? So I'm going with Shea. I'm going with OKC at home over the Detroit Pistons, right? So we got OKC money line over the Pistons in a good game. Yes, sir. DS Josh Giddey, all them boys. They got like 9 players who could play. They got a tall, athletic team, just like the Pistons. But I think OKC is just a little more offensively sound, right, than the Pistons team. Pistons is more so defensively, right? But that's game 6, right? So this game 6. Game 6, we got OKC over the Detroit Pistons. We gonna move this thing right along. To game 7. We got the Dallas Mavericks versus the Memphis Grizzlies. The Memphis Grizzlies right now are beat up. They banged up, right? No Steven Adams, no Ja Morant. The people in Memphis right now, we praying that Ja Morant come back right now because we ain't won the game this year. You know what I mean? Dallas 2-0, Memphis 0-3. No Ja Morant, no Steven Adams. Dallas should be able to win this game. Pretty comfortably too. You know what I mean? Dallas is 2-0 with wins over Brooklyn and San Antonio. The Grizzlies are 0-3 with losses to Washington, Denver, and New Orleans. 2 playoff teams in Washington, right? But still, it's going to be tough for Memphis to win these games without Ja Morant. So I got Dallas money line over the Grizzlies today. So I got Dallas money line over the Grizzlies today. Right? That's game number 7. We gonna keep it moving right along. We almost didn't get through this rundown. Y'all hit that thumbs up. I'm trying to get this thing within 20, 25. You know what I mean? Then we gonna make a parlay at the end and we go skedaddle. Right? So we gonna go on to game 8. We got Warriors versus Pelicans. Let me check who at home. The Pelicans are at home. Pelicans 2-0. The Warriors are 2-1. The Warriors have wins over Houston, Sacramento, and a 4-point loss to the Phoenix Suns. The Pelicans have wins over the New York Knicks, the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Orlando. Hold on, wait. My bad. That's preseason. Okay. So the New Orleans Pelicans have wins over the Memphis Grizzlies, 111 to 104, and a win over the New York Knicks, 96 to 87. Right? In this game, New Orleans Pelicans are at home. The Warriors will be coming in to New Orleans. I think it's going to be a hard-fought battle. It always is. It's always a hard-fought battle. I'm thinking that the Golden State Warriors should be able to get the win in this game, even though it's on the road. The Golden State Warriors has their win over Sacramento in that close loss to Phoenix. They're still Golden State Warriors. They play teams hard. The Pelicans beat a shorthanded Memphis team, right? So right now that Memphis team is bad, and they beat a pretty good New York Knicks team. The New York Knicks team's offense was putrid. You know what I mean? Their game, they pulled their win out. I do think the Pelicans are going to be a pretty good team this year. You might have to look out for them. But in this game, I'm going to go the Golden State Warriors to pull off, this win over the Pelicans, right? So game number 8, We got Golden State over the Pelicans in the close game, but I think Steph Curry and them boys gonna be able to find a way to beat the Pelicans. They kind of had the Pelicans number, for the longest. I think their big brother, little brother thing is still there, and I got Golden State money line over the Pels today. Right, let me drop that thing and check this game. Number 9, we got 2 games left. Then I'm gonna give you the rundown, and then we gonna make our parlay for the day, right? But I digress. We got Golden State money line over the Pels, moving it right along. Heat versus Bucks. We got the Heat versus Bucks. The Heat are 1-2, and the Bucks are also 1-2. 1-1, right? You go into the season 3 games in, somebody would have told you the Bucks gonna be 1-1, the Heat's gonna be 1-3. What you would have thought? Probably you would have thought about right? Because their Eastern Conference pretty tough. They do be beating up on each other. But I digress. Kevin Love is a game time decision. Josh Richardson, game time decision. Caleb Martin, game time decision. Chris Middleton, game time decision in this game. Got the Miami Heat 1-2 with losses to Minnesota, losses to Boston, and they got a 1-point win over the Detroit Pistons. Moving right along, we got the Milwaukee Bucks, who just lost to Atlanta, 127-110. They have a win over the Philadelphia 76ers, 118-117. So both these teams are expected to be at the top of the East. Both these teams getting out to kind of a slow start. Both these teams look great, one game and then look not so great, in another game or two, right? The Heat lost to Minnesota, a game they probably should have won. They lost to Boston, right? A game that they were in, a game they could have won. Boston's a good team, and they beat Detroit. Detroit took them to overtime in the scale, right? The Bucks was dominating the Philadelphia 76ers, right? They let the Philadelphia 76ers walk them down, come all the way back. They end up winning about 1 point, and then they come out, and then they play no defense against this Atlanta Hawks team, and Trae Young and them boys bust them up, right? So we got both teams who's looking for a win. However much you could need a win the first 3 games in the season, right? 3-4 games in the season. Both these teams need a win right now, right? Because if the Bucks go 1-2, that's gonna start a conversation. If Miami go 1-4, that's gonna start a conversation, right? So both these teams need this win. I'm expecting both of these teams to play hard. I'm not gonna lie, my first man, y'all, I almost win Miami, but I think the Milwaukee Bucks should be able to pull this out. Miami is just a little banged up, right? Damian Lillard, especially if Chris Middleton play, right? Chris Middleton may be that X factor. If you add Chris Middleton in this equation with the Heat, it get real hard for the Heat to beat the Bucks. If you take Chris Middleton out this equation, then it becomes a real winnable game for Miami, right? In this game, I want to go with the Miami Bucks. Main reason is I'm going with the Bucks because they're at home, right? It's a Heat Bucks game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. You know what I mean? I'm thinking the Bucks should be able to pull it off. The Bucks just gave up their game to the Hornets. Damian Lillard the Bucks just gave up their game to the Hawks. Damian Lillard had a terrible game. I'm expecting him to have a better game this game. So in the ninth game on the docket, Heat versus Bucks, we got Bucks money line over Heat, and what I think is going to be a beautiful show, right? So we got Bucks money line over Miami Heat. Let me drop that in the chat for y'all. We go keep it moving. We down to the last 2. We got Utah Jazz versus the Denver Nuggets. The Utah Jazz, that's fine. The Utah Jazz are 1-2, and the Denver Nuggets are 3-0. The Denver Nuggets are at home as well. In this game, I'm going Denver Nuggets, man. I ain't gonna waste a whole lot of that time with that. I'm going Denver Nuggets in this game. Denver is the best team, is the better team, all the way around, no matter how you slice it. So we got Denver money line over the Jazz, right? People are high on the Jazz, right? I'm not one of those people who crazy about the Jazz. They're gonna have to do a little more for me to be like, okay, well, yeah, they up next. I saw the Grizzlies team, building coming up, right? I saw that Pelicans team building itself coming up, right? I see the Jazz. I see what the Jazz trying to do, but I don't see it just yet. You know what I mean? I got Denver money line over the Utah Jazz in the 10th. And the last game on the docket, last but not least, we got the Lakers versus the Orlando Magic. And yeah, this gonna be a good game, right? The Orlando Magic team can play. The Orlando Magic team can score, right? They play hard. right? They ain't coming out there to lay down. The Lakers are going to be at home. Magic coming in on the road. Magic is 2-0. The Lakers are 1-2. The Lakers are coming off a loss to Sacramento last night, 132 to 127. It was an overtime game, right? So this is a back-to-back. No, this is back-to-back, so they could come into play. The Lakers beat the Phoenix Suns in the game before that, 100 to 95. No Devin Booker, no Bradley Beal, and they lost to the Denver Nuggets opening day, 119 to 107. In a competitive game, the game was competitive until the end when it wasn't. You know what I mean? But we moving right along. The Orlando Magic are 3-0 right now, right? They're 2-0 right now, right? They beat Houston and they beat Portland. This game, they go be playing the Lakers. I guess you could say this would be their first real test, right, on the road. This game, I'm going to go with the Lakers at home against the Orlando Magic coming in. I think the Lakers have the more. I think Lakers have the better overall team, right? That veteran team. I do think this Orlando Magic team go scare some folks, but they go play some folks hard. They go upset some of y'all favorite teams and whatnot. But I think the Lakers get the win at home in this game, even coming off the back-to-back, right? I think they find a way to get this win. I think this game will be tough as well on the Los Angeles Lakers, right? But last game of the day, we got the Lakers money line. We got the Lakers money line over the Orlando Magic, right? So that's all 11 games. I'm about to run back down. I'm about to run back down. I'm about to run back down. I'm about to run back down my winners. I'm about to run back down my winners, and then we go make our parlay at the end, and then we go and get up out of here, right? In game one, Nets versus Charlotte, we got the Nets. Bulls versus Pacers, we got the Pacers. Celtics versus Washington, we got the Celtics. T-Wolves versus Hawks, we got the Hawks. Raptors versus Trailblazers, we got the Raptors. Thunder versus Pistons, we got the Thunder. Dallas versus Memphis, we got Dallas. Warriors versus Pelicans, we got Warriors. Heat versus Bucks, we got Bucks. Jazz versus Nuggets, we got Nuggets. And Lakers versus Magic, we got the Lakers. Let's get into the fun part. Let's get into this parlay time. Let's get into this parlay time real quick. We're going to use FanDuel. You know what I mean? Just, for this, we use FanDuel. We use DraftKings. We use both. If you really gamble, if you really do this, you know why you need multiple betting sites, right? Most people ain't going to get it. But if you really bet, you really gamble, you know why you need multiple betting sites, because odds are different everywhere. You get better stuff here, you get better stuff there, right? But I digress. We're going to use FanDuel for this, right? So in the first game, so if we take all our 11 winners together, right, we just parlay the 11 winners together. Nets, Pacers, Celtics, Hawks, Raptors, Thunder, Dallas, Warriors, Bucks, Nuggets, Lakers. We parlay all 11 of our wins, right? All 11 winners. Our 11 winners, right? $5 will win you $1,000, right? On all 11 winners, all 11 of our winners we picked, right? That's a long parlay, right? But this is just, that's all the winners. 5 will win you 1,000, right? So let's chop up a parlay real quick. Let's make us a parlay real quick. We got about 4 minutes left, so let's go and get this thing done, right? So my lock games, right? Pacers over Bulls, right? So we gonna throw Pacers in the parlay, right? We gonna throw Pacers like that Pacers team. We throwing Celtics. We going Celtics halftime, right? We going Celtics halftime in the parlay. We got the Celtics to win the game, right? We going Celtics halftime in the parlay to get better odds on it. Oh, so I gotta take the no spread, right? So we going first. Yeah, we going Celtics. We going Celtics halftime in the parlay, right? So we got Celtics halftime. Okay, we got the Atlanta Hawks, right? We got Hawks over Timberwolves, right? Raptors over Blazers, right? We got Raptors over Blazers, right? got Dallas over the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies banged up. Got Dallas over the Grizzlies, right? We got Nuggets over Jazz, right? Nuggets over Jazz. So we at 6 right now, right? Then we go choose between Lakers, Magic, Bucks, Heat, Warriors, Pelicans, Thunder, Pistons, Nets, Charlotte. What I got more confidence in? Let's go Warriors. Let's go Warriors over Pelicans. Let's go Warriors over Pelicans. I like that. Underdog money. Let's go Warriors. Let's go Warriors. Right? I like that. We're going to end like that. We'll just nice little 7, right? We'll get us a nice little 7. Right? Nice little 7. And 350 on that 7-piece wins you 100, right? So y'all know how to do the math. 350 win you 100. 7 or win you 200, right? So that's gonna be my parlay right there. That's gonna be my parlay right there. All 11 of my winners, right? Win you $5, win you 1,000. This is gonna be my actual parlay. We got Pacers. Shut up. We got Pacers, Celtics halftime, Hawks, Raptors, Dallas, Nuggets, Warriors. 350 on that thing, win you 100, right? Now let's run back down the winners real quick for show purposes. So I'm gonna get y'all up out of here. It's 11 games today. I got the Shut up. I got the Brooklyn Nets over the Charlotte Hornets. I got the Pacers over the Chicago Bulls. I got the Celtics over the Washington Wizards. I got the Atlanta Hawks over the Timberwolves. I got the Toronto Raptors over the Trailblazers. I got the Oklahoma City Thunder over the Detroit Pistons. Dallas Mavericks over Memphis Grizzlies. Golden State Warriors over Pelicans. Bucks over Heat. Nuggets over Jazz. And Lakers over Orlando Magic. I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, man. Skin Hardaway Southern T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future. But this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Love.